Yo, we are here with part 34 of Chronicon. Hope you're having a good night. Shout out to archaix.com and get over to the Archaix YouTube channel. In the background right now, we have Final Fantasy Tactics, our hero's theme. Good little chime going on in the background. Leprechauns, pixies, dwarfs, all running around with little swords. Alright, let's get into the goodness and enough imagery. The Black Age of the Kali Yuga, having begun in 3103 BC, saw the rise of the Nephilim powers of the Anunnaki and decay of spirituality. The flood ended the total presence of Anunnaki and Nephilim hybrids on Earth as the flood cleansed the planet of their pollution. Reflected in that, the deluge was the year 864, which is the foundation of time number, implying a beginning of the Vedic calendar. 7 days before the deluge, planet Phoenix was seen entering the inner solar system, growing larger and larger in the sky from the direction of Venus. Phoenix transited between Earth and the Sun, casting our planet in shadow, darkening the Sun. The world turned upside down, night turned to day and day to night, and destructive earthquakes shook the foundations, crustal plates of the world. The Tractate Sanhedrin 108b reads that 7 days before the flood, the sun set in the east and rose in the west, and the Book of Enoch also mentions a pole shift and quakes at the flood. The Babylonian records, called the Atrahasis epic, reads that for 7 days and 7 nights the torrent, storm and flood came on. In the Persian Zend, Avesta text the flood was associated with the sudden appearance of a strange star. Before the 7 days began, Noah had loaded the ark with all the necessary water and provisions. The ancient book of Jasher relates that the Creator caused animals of mammalian and some avian species to gather around this superstructure, and they allowed Noah and his sons to take their cubs and young into the pens of the ark. Noah just finished collecting the pups and cubs and livestock when people began gathering around the ark. He shut his family inside of it, and as it began raining, about 700,000 people surrounded the ark. But the people were refused admittance and rioted when Noah reminded them of the years of his preaching and prophesying that they had ignored. The masses of enraged and panicked men and women assaulted the structure in what became the Battle of the Ark. The Jasher records indicate that God enraged the hearts of the animals that had delivered their young, and thousands of wild animals set upon the rioting people. Mighty men, giants, Nephilim, vicious women, and angry men fought to enter the ark, but the sons of Noah from atop the structure fought them valiantly, with the animals, and the people fought one another. The storms increase, and they flee to find shelter. Sumerian records attest that just prior to the 40 years of the non-stop rain, the entire world shook violently, and the far horizon turned black with clouds. Rabbinical records indicate that the deluge was caused by the falling of 2 stars. These 2 impacts mirror what is described in the Revelation account during the apocalypse. See 2046 AD and 2048 AD. Phoenix transits between Venus and the Earth, which led to much ancient confusion. We have records from archaic chroniclers that they thought Venus was responsible for the catastrophes that all occur with the Phoenix orbit years. These will be seen in 1687 BC. The meteoric impacts that caused the flood were not fragments from Phoenix, which merely blankets the Earth, is millions of tons of cosmic dust darkening the sun in an envelope, but from the ancient Earth-killer comet group. This comet group originally fractured off of Nibiru and entered its own orbit of the sun of 396 years, half of Nibiru's orbit. Just finished its 330 years below the ecliptic on its elliptical orbit. Now it begins its 66-year or 792-month journey over the ecliptic. As the past is a predicate for the future, the sun darkening of Phoenix precedes the impact of 2 gigantic meteoric objects, just as described in the prophetic biblical records. An analysis of Chinese tradition using royal chronologies places Emperor Shun in 2240 BC, 1 year off from 2239 BC, witnessing a large meteorite falling from the sky to strike the Earth, followed by the Great Flood. In 1998, ADW Bruce Massey, an environmental archaeologist with the US Air Force, revealed that the ancient world was plagued by a series of cosmic impacts, with one being approximately 2240 BC. Ocean sediments taken from the Gulf of Oman revealed a sudden deterioration of a long stable climate approximately 2200 BC. French scientists in the Middle East discovered layers of calcite under the ground indicating a cosmic impact dating around 2200 BC. I will stop it there, guys, and we will be back to talk about meteorites and asteroids and all that goodness impacting during the flood times. But they ain't coming back, I'm telling you now. Alright, have a good night, guys. Much love, and we'll be back tomorrow.